Hello, my kings and queens of the non-binary in-betweens. This is a very unique style thing. I'm going to be comparing two fandoms I'm in by certain categories. And this is my own opinion, so yeah. I know one fandom will not really care about what things I say. The other one, maybe. Okay. Anyway, let's get into this. I have two particular fandoms I love and am in, both of which have a lot in common, except one is an anime and one is basically robots. They are both science fiction comedies and make references to a bunch of other stuff and are hilarious. These two shows, the one with robots is known as the Sun and Moon Show or the Security Breach Show. When I talk about that fandom, I'm going to talk about specifically the Eclipse and Puppet Show, Lunar and Earth Show, and Sun and Moon Show, because those are the ones I watch. Literally, those guys post every day. I try to keep up. And the second one is a little thing called Dr. Stone. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to compare these through different things and we'll just talk about it. So anyway, let's get into it. First thing we're going to talk about is story. Okay. Story for the Sun and Moon Show are about, well, it's a FNAF role play where you have the Sun and Moon animatronic, they split, and then a bunch of crazy happens. Thing is, I can edit. There's not you can never predict what's going to happen. That is a good thing, but it's also another thing as well. The story introduces a lot of characters and all that, and I truly love it. It helped me get through a bunch of tough times, and I will never leave that fandom. I'm still a part of Ninjago, even though I haven't seen that show in a couple months. I'm waiting for the next season. Well, part 2. But story-wise, when we get to Dr. Stone, the story is this. Imagine that the whole world all of humanity was turned to stone. That's it. Well, not really. The story centers around, well, I should put in spoiler warnings. Nah, I'm only going to talk about the anime itself. Anyway, not the manga, even though I collect them. Good thing I'm editing. God. Essentially, the story is the entirety of humanity gets turned to stone, petrified for thousands of years, but six people on the International Space Station survived and came down and started, well, repopulating. Not really, but they were the last people on Earth, and they were trying to do the best they can to help humanity survive with the limited resources they had. The best they could do was keep humanity going. But when it came to the people of Stone, there was one character who's the main character named Senku Ishigami. He's essentially a genius, even though he refuses to admit that. He basically counted seconds for, I'm not joking, I know what, I could grab my manga here so I can actually proofread it. Good thing I can edit. When it happened, it was the 21st century, and the year Senku woke up was, well, 5,738. So, over 3,700 years, they were petrified. Senku managed to get out because of a bunch of science stuff and all that. A bunch of stuff happens, not to mention it's a bunch of hilarious characters, not to mention a bunch of other stuff. But essentially, yeah. When it comes to, it's both science fiction, and they both they both try to keep on the realism. Well, yeah. Well, to what I know with my limited knowledge, and the fact that I literally just study anything. So when it comes to story-wise, it has to go to Dr. Stone because it's not really fast-paced as on the other show is now, because all three of those shows are intertwined with the same connecting storyline, bunch of stuff happening. You can hardly keep up. So yeah, has to go to Dr. Stone. Now, the next thing is characters. Thing is, this is going to be a tough one because there are a lot of different characters and very different things. In fact, I see when I first saw it, I saw like Sun and Moon characters in the, because I found Sun and Moon show first. I was like, oh, this guy acts like this character and that and that. Not to mention, yeah, and all that kind of stuff. So the characters are very similar, but I'm going to talk about the way that they're written. The thing is, the way you write a character, well, technically, the thing they usually do with a main character is that you give them a crap ton of trauma. Yeah. But when it comes to, like, the main protagonist in Dr. Stone, he doesn't really have much trauma, except for the fact he was counting alone for 3,700 years. That's pretty much it. And he was adopted, but he never knew his real parents, and he didn't really care. And he's kind of made robotic, but you can still feel those emotions, which makes him a really lovely character. And he's more humane than a lot of these other characters there. Meanwhile, with the Sun and Moon show, which has the characters are literally robots, they are traumatized literally every single goddamn day. I'm not joking. Which brings me to my next thing. The goddamn upload schedule. Sun and Moon show. All three channels post every goddamn day. For people like me, well, I used to react, every once in a while I still will react to the shows, because let's just say for the Dr. Stone fans here, I'm a mentalist and I love psychology and all that, and people would come to my channel to understand the science behind it, and not to mention I will point out scientific inaccuracies, and if I accidentally get them wrong, I will delete the video because I do not want to spread misinformation. When it comes to making stuff, some of the things I make, like the lyric pranks, those take 5 to 10 days to make. When it's uploading every single day, anything, you could be disproven instantly, and then all your hard work has gone down the drain. And that will get me to a different point, but some say that the upload schedules for animes kind of sucks, but the thing is, it's a thing called hype, and also chances for the fandom to actually theorize and all that. Not saying anything against the actors on the Sun and Moon show, that's partially our fault, because time to get to the fandom, actually. I have a lot to say about the fandoms. Sun and Moon show fandom. Basically, combine the FNAF fandom and the My Hero Academia fandom, and that's what you have. There is a lot of shipping and all that, because, well, in any fandom there's shipping. And also, there is like a lot of good people in there, but there is also some messed up people. People simp a lot for the villain characters, and there's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of shipping and all that, and as I said before, when it came to the lyric prank stuff, a single thing could be misproven, and even if I uploaded that at that point, some people sometimes don't get into their mind that it could have been made later. And they could have been like, oh, you should change this thing. But every single line is relevant. Including, I literally have to write it about three times. Write down the plot on a piece of paper, write down the script, and then write down the script in the thing. So then I go through multiple stages. It takes so long to make this stuff, and it can be just proven a single thing. There was, when it comes to the shipping part of the fandom, this is why I said it was also part of My Hero Academia. People ship the strangest things. And I admit, I was / kind of still am on the Moon X Monty ship, or Moon T, or as me and my sibling called it, the Holy Ship. The character, for those who don't know the Sun and Moon show, the character Moon is Arrow Ace. There's a lot of LGBT representation in there, which I love. And Monty, gender fluid, bisexual. There was this one episode called A Shoulder to Cry On. And no exaggeration, that was the gayest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, me and my sibling was watching it and we were like, because literally, I'm not joking. The day before, we're like insulting someone for saying that they shipped them together, and then the next day we're like, okay, I feel bad now because we started to ship it on that day. And then there was a lot of stuff within the community, like he's Arrow Ace and all that stuff. And I, at the time, diagnosed was Arrow Ace. Well, I still kind of am. I don't really care about it, being in a relationship or whatever, but if the opportunity ever arose, I would take it, but I don't really care. And I was like, dude, just let them ship. It doesn't matter. The people can make their jokes, and to the point where even when like the people making the shows behind it were sometimes joking about it, to the point where sometimes in the chat there was, I secretly shipped this by one of the creators of the show. They make basically shorts about it, and the short was about the Moon and Monty acting like an old couple. I read the comments because I'm like, yeah, a lot of people were shipping it, but there were also so many people there who said themselves that they are Arrow Ace and all that, which I understand. And we very rarely ever have representation. But also, some of us still have a hope of one day finding love, but it's kind of hard. The thing is, just so you see how it could kind of be toxic at some point. So yeah, when it comes to that stuff in the fandom, not to mention the Sims, the villains, the people literally love the villains. I'm like, I know you guys will love Dr. Stone because we literally have, so far in the anime, 3 villains that literally are just like the characters in the show, except a little less bloodlust. And they actually have conviction that you can argue for. I mean, I did argue for the conviction for him too, but because, well, yeah, again, I've been in this fandom for a while, but the stories for each of them, and not to mention the Dr. Stone fandom, I myself ship Gen and Senku. A lot of people say isn't he Hero Ace, but the people are respectful about it too. But the thing is, they literally have had like a literal scene where they're teasing it at a block.
Is it? Could you make one for me? Just one cola?
Yeah, for sure. Nobody else can.
Careful now. Don't get your hopes up. There's no way he's that nice, right?
Senku! What's this fizzy water for?
Acid into the acetanilide we just made for para-acetamidobenzene sulfonyl chloride. And then throw in ammonia to make para-acetamidobenzene sulfonic acid, cook it in hydrochloric acid, and get that.
I'm genuinely impressed you can say that without stuttering. Good job.
Lastly, that carbonated water.
Oh yes, I meant to ask. I'm not expecting anything, but is this for...
Yeah, what else would it be for?
I have no earthly idea.
Mix it with sodium hydroxide to make baking soda!
Baking soda. Yes, right. That's it. That's definitely what I was thinking.
Like, okay, essentially, I was no joke, I was watching an animatic of, the ship, because I could, essentially, I was reading the comments, the ones that weren't in Japanese, or ones I can't read, the English ones. There was, like, one person being like, I personally disagree with you, but I'm going to do the respectful thing, and not to lash out. Because you have your opinions and all that kind of stuff. We are all human here. We both have different opinions. We'll just wait to see which one of us is right. And they didn't beat each other up. Like I've seen so many times in other fandoms. And instantly I was like, what? People are respectful of this one? Like, and there is LGBT representation in there because one of the characters, literally the line is, I love
You may hate me with every fiber of your being. That won't keep me from loving you. I love all women, you see. So that includes you. And men! I want everyone!
literally one of my favorite characters who happens to be voiced by Bakugo's dub actor. Anyway. So when it comes to like fandoms and all that, I think Dr. Stone takes the cake because it's much calmer and feels a lot more safe to be in. The Sun and Moon show, yes, it's very unique and a lot of arts and all that. But a single thing gets misproven and then gets misproven, and then they worked so hard on it, and they either have to redo it, scrap it, or upload it anyway. As a creator, I can say that's a pain in the butt. Again, no insulting the actors or anything. It's our fault as a fandom. So, I don't know what I was really talking about here, but essentially, I was just basically here to like just talk about both fandoms and possibly introduce one fandom to the other because I want to make Dr. Stone content because I know that people are a lot more accepting there, and I can put ships in there, and they won't give me crap. Because now I fear if I continue the Sun Moon Lyric Pranks because of the story I had there, just because I had two characters together and it turns out another person's with the other one and all that stuff. I'm too scared to upload it or finish it. But I do want to do things with both fandoms, like I want to do like a text story stuff with both fandoms interacting. Because man, I'd put so many jokes in there for both fandoms and try to introduce everyone to a bunch of new fandoms between both sides. That's what I aim to do, is just try to be inclusive and everything. So, I have no idea what this video was. So, yeah. Thank you, my kings and queens, for the non-binary in betweens. I'll see you in the next one.